Welcome, friends, and thanks for being here. Liam Murphy back for Total Points Tuesday, where we're going to be drafting some fantasy football best ball teams today, trying to build the highest scoring teams for the whole season and win some prize money while we're at it. We're starting with drafters. This is my 149th drafters team, meaning I don't have many teams left. You can only do 150 total. Since Jelani Woods is out, how do you feel about Granson? He's a defensible dart throw, you know. Colts tight end, not a position we probably want, but yeah, if you want a stacked tight end with Anthony Richardson, go for it. Anyways, we're kicking this off on drafters. You can use promo code ChessLiam if you want to get up and running on drafters for a $100 deposit match. I also strongly encourage you to read this free article about past top scoring teams I wrote, which I will link in the YouTube chat here. Drafters is PPR, total points weeks 1 through 17 determines the winner. It's only at 100,000 entrants out of 186. I don't think it's likely that it fills at all, which means it will overlay, meaning the prize pool is guaranteed. And so you just compete with less people for a guaranteed prize pool, 500K up top. If you sign up for beatbestball.com to get my rankings and articles, you also will get a free ticket into the Drafters Million. If you signed up for me and have a Drafters account, everyone should have their tickets by now. We pulled the 105 for our second to last drafters team. How much Carson Steele do you have on drafters? Well, the way I approach my drafters portfolio as someone that mostly does fast drafts and drafts. Ooh, excuse me. And drafts on a lot of sites is I had a lot of teams done early. I think the teams you can build now probably a little stronger. So I don't have a ton of these recent risers specifically on drafters. I will get them on other platforms though. I've done 148 teams. Let's look at 5 of them together while we wait. Simply post a number 1 through 148 and we'll look at those teams. Any recent news on Marshawn Lloyd? He's likely going to open the season on IR. Although yesterday I read an opinion from a different Packers beat that AJ Dillon would open up on IR. If you have a family and work, you may not know this. But by 4 p.m. today, let's go Mon-Ra. Let's go the sun god. Give us that sun. Let's win. Anyways, you may not know, but NFL teams need to have fully trimmed down rosters by 4 p.m. Eastern today. They need to have their 52-man rosters. So players are getting cut. Guys like Tim Patrick are getting cut / traded. Guys like Samaje Perine are getting cut / traded. Kadarius Toney just got released. What that means for me, I mean, A, we're going to get actionable news here. And B, I will have fresh ranking update tomorrow for those who subscribe to beatbestball.com. I updated the rankings like 3 times each over the past couple weeks. I'm waiting until we get the full cut down of rosters. Because again, I'm trying to read the tea leaves, but a situation like Tim Patrick for the Broncos, like I think a lot of people were assuming that Tim Patrick was going to be a starting wide receiver for them based on preseason usage. Nope. They just wanted to trade him. You know? We only got 4 numbers. 1, 14, and 69, and 25. Let's look at it. Yeah, Jonathan Brooks on IR. 1 is a Jalen Hurts, Jaden Daniels team. Nutted quarterback duo. Rachaad White, Ken Walker, a good anchor. Jaleel, Ty Chandler, also going to give me some points. Will Shipley, a dart throw. Miles Sanders, not a good pick, but who knows? Dylan Lobby, probably not a good pick, but who knows? So, okay running back room. Puka, Marv, Tank, good trio there. Hopkins, Watson, Lockett. I like these guys. Hopkins is now cheaper. Shaheed, Slayton. Yeah, the Slayton shares, we'll see how they turn out. We're back on the clock. We'll look at those teams at the end of the stream. Ooh, Drafters is now having it yellow when you're on the clock. Yeah, Nico Collins. You know, in Drafters, you're trying to build the highest scoring team. Of course, it is Total Points Tuesday. And in my opinion, you need players to have big games. And I think Nico Collins can have some big games over the course of the season. This is a kombucha. Kombuchas are fermented teas. Good for your gut biome. We'll wait a bit, and then we'll give away a free ticket to Drafters as well. Again, if you want to chase the overlay, promo code Cheslium will get you up and running there with a $100 deposit match. So Monron Nico, pretty nice. Nico was pretty common at the back half to start the year, not as common lately. I don't really like the pink Lady Apple. My girlfriend picked these up. Oh, this is the guava dragon fruit. I like ginger. Chris Rodriguez, I don't think it's that noteworthy, but okay, he's released. Something, I don't know if I mentioned this on stream or not, but something I meant to say, maybe I did mention this yesterday, is I thought the Texans could try to trade Noah Brown to keep John Mechie. But John Mechie looked good. They seem to be high on Xavier Hutchinson too. And Noah Brown was cut today. So clearly the Texans couldn't find a trade partner. And so they cut him. And I think Noah Brown could he's going to be subject to waivers. A team like the Patriots could pick him up. A team like the Broncos, if they don't want to go with the youth movement. Let's go DJ Moore instead of Ayuk. Detroit and Chicago play in the same division. A little bit extra correlation there. We got a lot of Ayuk, so makes sense to differentiate. Noah Brown back to Dallas. Totally possible. It's possible. We'll be jumping over to Underdog after this to do a marathon stream as well. I wanted to save my last 2 bullets for after full cutdown days, but whatever. Trying to stream every day. Let's get it. Okay, Kadarius Toney waived by the Chiefs. Irv Smith waived. KJ Hamler waived. Kendry Miller to IR. Desmond Ritter waived. Terrace Marshall released. Noah Brown released. Higbee on PUP. Allen Robinson released. Kendrick Bourne to PUP. Hawkinson PUP. Jonathan Brooks PUP, which I think is like, you know, the know-it-alls out there want to pretend that was obvious that Jonathan Brooks would start on PUP. I think it was, I mean, Rap Sheet was reporting after the draft that he'd be ready for week 1. But that was a long time ago. That was back in May. But I think the assumption of most was that he would see the field by week 3 and not be on PUP. They decided to be cautious with it, put him on PUP. I still think Jonathan Brooks is a fabulous pick. You know, he's not going to give you any fantasy points week 4. 1, 2, 3, or 4. He'll have to ramp up, but he's just a very talented player, you know? Would you rather have Trey Benson or Brooks? Easily Brooks. Like, easily Brooks. Sion Vaki going to see any volume, or is he an injury player? Guy like Sion Vaki, he's an upside swing, but I do think it would require an injury to one of Gibbs or Montgomery. I was disappointed in Tim Patrick waived. I mean, it's not the end of the story for him. It's the end of the story with him on the Broncos, but you can luck out with things like this, you know? Like 1 year, I thought Latavius Murray was an awful pick, and he was cut. And then he got picked up midway through the year by a team, you know? How we doing today? We're doing good, man. Worked on our core. Definitely been lazy there. Got to strengthen the core just for overall health. Did a walk. And really just kind of buying some time until we get full cut down of rosters. Hurts is fine. But we have 3 other quarterbacks set up. Let's go McBride here. Yeah, let's go McBride. Interesting that Christian Kirk's ADP has not fallen as much on Drafters. Drafters is sharp in some ways and not sharp in other ways. We will be showing the quarterback tab so that these guys don't see my rankings. Appreciate you, Ted. I need a standing desk. I have one myself, man. I just got off Amazon. Do you have McBride over Kincaid? No. I think it's a toss-up there, but I value those players very equally. And honestly, Juicy J, I'm going to answer that in a second, actually, but Mad Sock asks, do you expect another weekend bonus due to the overlay? On Drafters? Absolutely, yes. Drafters is shaping up for strong overlay. They want to be proactive about it. They have all sorts of bonuses to get free tickets over there. Really feels like you will need at least one elite tight end probably to win. Kincaid in the 5th. Kincaid in the 5th is pretty common. Why I went McBride first is because we're doing them both, baby. And you got to play the ADP, you know? I personally value Kincaid a little bit more than McBride, but the market does not. So if I take Kincaid first, I don't ever get Kincaid McBride. And I want to have some teams like this. Double elite tight end. I personally think that the elite tight ends are just functionally mispriced by the market. You know, like way back in February, I was like, yeah, okay, Laporta, Andrews, Kincaid, McBride. I wasn't sure how the market would treat Kincaid. They have been sharp with it, but I thought they might have fudded him. But anyways, I thought all these guys, like, you know, 2-3 turn, 3rd round. But no. 4th round, 5th round, you know? So still feeling good about Brooks' late season upside? Yes, I am, Eric. You got to zoom out a little bit, right? I won Best Ball Mania 2 with a Rashad Penny team. Rashad Penny, people stopped drafting in BBM2 because he like got hurt in camp or something. I can't even remember. And I still drafted him because, okay, in drafters, you care about week 1, but in underdog, you don't, right? Like my running back, I had 5 running backs on the team. Jonathan Taylor, RB1 on the year. Aaron Jones, a fine pick. Damian Harris, a great mid-round value. And then Rashad Penny, who scored 4 points weeks 1 through 12, and then 100 points weeks 13 to 17. Right? So get the week 1 brain out of your system. Get it out. Get it out of there. Realize that the goal is to win money week 17. And, like these guys are going to fall irrationally because a lot of people care about week 1 more than they care about winning week 17 because they have functional misunderstanding of how money is won in these contests. Kendre Miller, Marshawn Lloyd. These guys are going to be 18th round draft picks, and they probably should. I already have a lot of Marshawn Lloyd, but I'll still be mixing them in. So, do I think Brooks can be a guy who smashes down the stretch still? Absolutely. Is he a little bit worse of a click in something like drafters? Yes. The Brashad Perryman year was the year before, I think, Tyler. Rip Jelani. Yeah, man, I have some Jelani shares. It's unfortunate, but he was getting good buzz for a week or two. Whatever. It was only like a 2-week symptom. You worried about Marshawn Lloyd? I'm not worried about it. I still believe in betting on a 3rd-round pick attached to the Packers and betting against A.J. Dillon and Josh Jacobs' infinite career touches. So I will be still getting some Lloyd in round 18, 19, 20. I don't want to pick him every time. I don't want to be irrational about it. But that's how I want to play it. Did you max the big board? No. In fact, I did something really bad. I only did 48 entrants. And I think you needed 50 for rake back. Wow. I mean, we would love to go Kittle. I mean, Pitts. We like Kittle too, but just really can't justify that on this team. I just have to stop at 2 tight ends. Let's get Brian Thomas Jr., though. A guy I like. A guy that has a huge single-week upside. With his speed, he can catch 2-3 touchdowns in a game. And size. We'll figure out running back later. Lloyd rounds 18 to 20. He's hurt, man. He's going to be put on IR. People are afraid. Like his ADP here, I'm sure is free-falled on drafters. Marshawn Lloyd, ADP of 180. But I'm telling you that ADP is stale. Because I've done some drafts and I've gotten Lloyd in round 18. What do you think the biggest edge on DK for best ball? Dude, if you have my ranks and you use a little bit of your brain, you have infinite edge. Simply, like if you watch content in draft on DraftKings, there's your edge. As far as advancing. As far as winning, it's a little bit harder because you need a super team. I don't really feel like Hawkinson is a steal. You got a lot of risk there, in my opinion. Wow. I mean, so this is a reason why you don't do what I did. Because it totally kills your flexibility to take a Kyle Pitts. But fuck them. We're doing it anyways. We're doing it anyways, folks. This isn't smart. Don't try it at home. If this was something like Underdog, I would have taken Pitts without thinking. It's a little bit tougher for this in a total points contest where you need to score the highest scoring lineup. And while I think McBride, Kincaid, and Pitts can all score very well, they just are not allowed to fill in at one of my wide receiver spots, and I have to start 3 of these guys a week. So whatever. I would have taken David Montgomery if not for him. We're starving the beast, though. Let's see how people react. Don't try this at home. Yeah, I mean, definitely tight end at flex, and also, I need to just lock in 15 to 20 points every single week at the tight end position minimum between these 3. And who knows? It might pull up this tier dudes. Might pull up, people are they need their Hunter Henrys or whatever. You need some tight ends to win. So. The FFPC special, yeah. It's much better on the FFPC because the FFPC is a 2 wide receiver, 2 flex. This is 3 wide receiver, 1 flex. But at the least, I have Amon-Ra St. Brown, who may not possess the same single week upside of a CeeDee Lamb or Tyreek Hill. But what he does have is he's one of the most consistent guys to fill your lineup. So really, if we assume Amon-Ra is in there every single week, I only need 2 wide receivers each week, which changes the equation a little bit, you know? I don't think Carson Steele is Kyron or anything similar of a bet. What I think Carson Steele is, though, is probably the RB2. And, because like Isaiah Pacheco is a much better entrenched starter than Cam Akers was. Much better. Steele, though, it's very realistic that Carson Steele could be very annoying for Pacheco owners. Like these people drafting Pacheco in the 3rd are going to break their phones if Carson Steele is stealing goal line touchdowns and the Chiefs are doing little pop passes to Jared Wiley and, Nico Remigio and the rugby dude, that's why I think the Chiefs, I'm cautious with who I draft on the Chiefs. I'm worried about Kelsey. He's old. I'm starting to get worried about Pacheco just because he's so expensive. And he went in the back of the 4-5 turn for most of the season. So I don't want anything to do with that. I'm excited about Rice. I just think he's going to be the wideout one there. I'm excited about Worthy. I think he possesses elite single week upside. I'm worried about Hollywood. He wasn't good last year, and he's injured. Okay. I think we'll go JMO here and play the ADP. We'll add to our Detroit bet. Again, we have Amon-Ra, Mr. Consistent, and then Nico, DJ Moore, Brian Thomas, and Jameson Williams are 4 wide receivers who possess elite single week upside. They're all 4 of them win down the field, and so they all can have huge games, which is kind of the name of the game when you're trying to build the highest scoring lineup. Rugby guy got waived. Yeah, but you waive him because he clearly wasn't going to be a football guy this year, but he's going to be on the practice squad, I think, Do you have any ounce of worry that Smith-Schuster will muddy the waters? Not really. I don't really know how to read that. I think it was definitely a indication they didn't like Sky Moore and Mecole Hardman maybe. But it also maybe it is having something to do with Rashee Rice, Why not Prince? Mad Sox, Deneric Prince still could be the RB2 of the Chiefs. I personally think the vibes and information have gone Carson Steele's way, but I'm going to be interested to see who does and doesn't get cut from the Chiefs. And yeah, maybe it is Prince. Prince, athletic freak. Don't think he did a lot with it, but an early Trevor Lawrence. That's pretty bad. ADP wise. Yeah, I think it's time to take a running back here. I think Jaylen Warren will be fine. I also could go Caleb, but we don't want to get squeezed. I also like Zach Moss. But let's go Warren. Warren should be fine for week 1. I do think it's possible that Cordell Patterson is annoying for Jaylen. What's the difference in the 2 $1 million contests on FFPC? Yeah, it's the buy-in amount and the total entries. Yes. Carson Steele's nickname is Warhorse. That's pretty sick, man. Yeah, I mean, Kansas City, the way that people talk about the Chiefs, you would think that they're projected for the most points. It's not true. Teams that project for more total points this year via Vegas lines, off my memory. Lions, Niners, Bills, Cowboys. What are some other good teams? Chiefs are like 6th or something. Now, touchdown scored, field goal scored doesn't necessarily equal fantasy points, but it is an indication, because if Mahomes throws for 400 yards in a game, but they only score 20 points, you're happy with that, Eagles are above the Chiefs too. Thoughts on Moss versus Brown in total points? I mean, I view it similar as I do in playoff too, where it's like I still don't think we know who the RB1 is there. I wanna have shares of both. That's not a spot in the market I want to be like, this guy clearly, Bengals are high, but they're not high as the Chiefs. The Chiefs are like 5 or 6, but via where their total offense goes, they are 1. Do you have overall rankings for managed on your site? I do. Yes, I have managed rankings. They're not importable, but they're just like, these are how I view the players. You guys appreciate these streams. Help me out. I'm on the road to 6K here. Amazon just acquired the Kelsey podcast for like $100 million or something. Amazon, if you're listening, Amazon. You can be the sponsor of this channel for only 10 million. Jeff Bezos, Amazon, Jeff Bezos. We'll see if that helps the algorithm at all. Maybe that will get me in front of them. Jokes. Jonathan Brooks goes, that's unfortunate. Some rooms you're going to get in and no one will want Brooks, and he will go in like the 140s. Kombucha, JT. Oh my God. That is a literal shocking pick. We got to look at this guy's team. Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Derrick Henry, Ken Walker, Ramondre, A.J. Brown, Deebo, Christian Watson, and Juju Smith-Schuster. What in the hell? Oh, man. All right, they're trying to starve us out at QB and RB. Let's not give the room a chance to be donkeys and take our quarterback. We'll take Goff. We have Amon-Ra. We have Jameson Williams. Jared Goff plays something like 14 dumb games this year. 14 dumb games, so absurd. I mean, I think he must have autoed this. It is his first draft, so he could also just be terrible. We've summoned the ghost of Bezos fortune. Amazon. 10 million. Liam. The Beetlejuice method. Yeah, they could talk me down to 6. The double Chargers, I don't love it. Be a grown man and choose one. You're trying to build the highest scoring team. And a lot of these guys like Dobbins went here for a large portion of the season. I would have taken Edwards. So yeah, I mean, we're just gonna have to functionally, like, we're gonna just have to go a little bit light at wideout and just hope we can nut it up. And Blake Corum will be our RB2. I'm gonna need like 8 running backs on this team. I might only be able to go 2 QB. And just depend on Goff. Really depend on Amon-Ra. And like, I did this to myself by going triple elite tight end, but like, I'm not giving someone Kyle Pitts in the 80s. This is a good point. The Juju Drafter is a TikTok millennia. Like it. Brian Robinson will finish top 5. I think that's false, but I could see Brian Robinson scoring 10 touchdowns. I like Brian Robinson. I'm gonna kombucha. Your thoughts on Zamir White? He seems to be falling. Zamir White is an athletic freak on a team that wants to run the ball a lot, a team that's probably not good. They have a good defense, but they're probably not the best team. And he could potentially be squeezed for touches with Dylan Lobby and or I can't remember the other guy's name. He went to Wisconsin, whatever. He could be squeezed for touches in the passing game. He's not a big pass catcher. And he could be sharing early down workload with Alexander Mattison. So, athletic freak, capable of having big games. Team wants to run the ball a lot. But yeah, I get why he's falling in drafts. I'm not super excited about him. I do mix him in, though. Like, when he falls to the hundreds, I mix him in. You getting in the mix in the DK 10K contest? Possibly, JJ. I don't know. Like, I still have a lot of low stakes to draft, which I just like need to do personally, in my opinion. And then my toughest thing about doing the DK 10K is, aside from it being, a lot of money, is like Big Cat and Dave Portnoy were in drafts earlier. And so if I'm can't be assured that I'm getting a VIP in my room, I just feel like, why would I put myself at a disservice, And it's the rake amount that DraftKings is taking is pretty egregiously high, in my opinion. They're raking it 10%, which is effing absurd for a 10K entrant. They're taking 1K out of the prize pool for themselves, Abdullah, thank you. Adonai Mitchell, kind of the last of a wide receiver tier. And we're probably only going 7 wide receivers. Amon-Ra, Mr. Consistent. Nico, DJ Moore, Brian Thomas, Jameson, Adonai. Like, big game hunting with those 5. Because we need a lot of running back darts. And we'll probably only go 2 QB too. So like a 2-8-7-3. That RB room will need some luck. Maybe. That's why we're taking 8 of them. Yeah, I mean, anytime you can wrap 3 condoms on your dick and draft a team, you got to do it, Sleepy Bagel. I think this is just really bad. Gus, Dobbins, and Vidal. Okay, yeah, you have the Chargers running back, but you also have 2 semi-expensive zeros. And you can have zeros and win, but like, maybe not first. Sure. Zach Charbonnet. I don't know, man. Like, second round pick. He's only falling because he's banged up a little bit. People are enthused about Ken Walker. Me too. But again, second round pick. Talented player. I like him. Is getting Miles Sanders from waivers and manage a good idea right now? Not in my opinion, big boy. That's an advancement type of play. He's talking about the Vidal and co. Yeah, but keep in mind, you're not advancing here. You need to build the highest scoring lineup out of everyone. Let's give a free ticket away to drafters. Comment your drafters username. If you don't have a drafters username, you're not eligible. We're choosing the winner in 20 seconds. Comment it now. Keep commenting your drafters username. I'm going to highlight whoever's first here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And it is you. Wookiees. You win, brother. Congratulations, Wookiees. Eric. I believe you're in the Discord, Eric, so shout out you. Link to join my Discord is below, by the way. Some people have said they had trouble joining the Discord link. Let me know if that's you. Wook IEES. Congratulations, Eric. You've won a free ticket. Yeah, Deneric Prince cut. So obviously a big positive to Carson Steele. And also a vote of confidence in Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Who, you know, like Clyde Edwards-Helaire is what he is. He's a safety play. He gives them safety. This team needs early season running back production, and Khalil Herbert gives me that. So we're taking Khalil Herbert. Is this true, Sebastian? Eric, did you have multiple people saying Wookiees? I think it was just... Oh, Chuck. Star. What's going on there, guys? Are you guys trying to cheat this giveaway? You guys aren't even spelling it right, though. He spells it like this with 2 E's. Look, if it's... I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was. It's too late. I sent out the free ticket. Chuck says he was just fooling around. Star, explain yourself. I know you in the community here. Explain yourself, Star. What was that? Star Kindler. We're not running it back, all right? Owen's voting for him too. Jordan Mason. Welcome to the team. I think Jordan Mason looked good in the preseason. Excited to have on this team. So far, the team is Jared Goff, a tight end room of McBride, Kincaid, and Pitts. Yes. A running back room of Warren, Corum, Charbonnet, Khalil Herbert, Jordan Mason. Meh. A wideout room of Amon-Ra, Nico, DJ Moore, Brian Thomas, Jameson Williams, Adonai Mitchell. Yeah, pretty good. So we got 5 more picks. We definitely need at least a QB. Don't be mad. Yeah, I guess I'm guessing Star and Chuck just know Eric and we're like, hey, let's help him out. They probably already maxed or something. In the future, don't do that. I mean, it's not that relevant. I only have one more drafters stream I can do. I might do some drafters high stakes streams if we can get those to fill. If we can get this 250 to fill, which it needs 3 more. 25K to first there. Interesting. Let me let my cat in. This one I'm cat sitting. His name is Naki. He's very fat. but very cuddly. Owen says he was considering spamming some rando's name as well. Hey, whatever. I mean, we got people gaming the system around here. Chongpo, yeah. And he wants out now. Make up your mind, Naki. Okay. Back on the clock. Yeah, let's take the steel horse. War horse. If you can video edit and you can make me a war horse video, I will display that on my stream quite often. Honestly, a fun running back room to punt it off. Warren, Corum, Charbonnet, Khalil, Jordan Mason, Carson Steele, Bears backup, CMC backup, Chiefs backup. Again, Steele is not confirmed to be the RB2 of the Chiefs, but he's on the team. They want Puma's still around. They want Terrace Marshall back on the practice squad. This is definitely a weird team. And if this team wins the contest, people are going to be like, what the hell? They're going to be like, I knew it. I knew I should have done triple elite tight end. I don't think it's a general great strategy, but hey, give you lemons. You got to cook them. Yeah, Drake May. I think Drake May is going to get named the week 1 starter, so get ahead of that in your drafts. I could be wrong. It's my opinion. But I think he's a really, if May was the week 1 starter and Goff is, my Mr. Dependable, I think it's a defensible 2 QB room where it's like Goff is giving me consistent points at minimum with some spikes layered in, and May has rushing upside. Easy to stack him as well. Guys like Bo Nix and May are rocketing up boards. Like, you used to be able to get these guys in around 19, 20. Just go ahead and take them around 15, 16 if you want them now. Yeah, Allen Robinson is in the NFL, but he was released, so debatable. Chargers released Donald Parham. Vote of confidence in Hayden Hurst and co. Middle and late round QB this year seems great. Yeah, I mean, especially if Justin Fields hits. But Daniel Jones has upside. May, Knicks have upside. Levis has upside. Watson, Rodgers, Herbert, Geno. And then the chalk good picks of Burrow, Stroud, Daniels, Prescott, Caleb, Trevor, Purdy, Love. Dude, the new pictures of Underdog definitely threw me for a loop. Who do you think this is, Damien? Are you a Baker guy? I mean, there's not even another second quarterback to really like convince myself on, so that ship has sailed. Let's go with Will Shipley. Bourne. Yeah, I think Bourne is a really good pick too, but also like he's on PUP, so he's not playing for 4 weeks. We don't love it, but it's okay. Nothing's random here, Daniel. Do you have any long-term faith in Abanikanda? I don't have long-term faith in him. I can tell you though, he was at Jets practice today. Still possible he gets cut. I think you could argue if you have a Abanikanda bags, which if you did the big board, we all do, you want him to be cut. You want him to go sign with a team like the Cowboys. What Patriot wideouts you prefer in order? I mean, Polk number 1, Douglas number 2. As far as like he's not a 0, but I don't think he's much upside either. I like Bourne. I kind of like Bourne as the 2. And then I don't know, like people have been hating on Baker, but I thought it's like his target, like him getting targeted a lot is bullish. Maybe a 0, you know. So okay, Khalif Raymond gives us for sure another guy who's not a 0. Kendrick Bourne is maybe a 0. He's definitely a 0 for 4 weeks. Whatever. We'll take Bourne. So far, we got Goff and May. It's a little thin at quarterback. Even for me, like I probably was going like Goff, May, Knicks a lot, but whatever. We're riding it. Warren, Corum, Charbonnet, Herbert, Mason, Steele, Shipley. Definitely thin at running back, but we got a lot of them at least. Amon-Ra, Nico, DJ Moore. 3 studs. Brian Thomas, Jameson, Adonai. 3 dudes who we hope can provide big games. And maybe some stud alert. Kendrick Bourne, Pierre Dart, 0 to start the season. Not great when I'm only going 7 wideouts. McBride, Kincaid, Pitts. So, honestly, I could go an 8th wideout here for sure, and I might. I could go an 8th running back. I think Malik Washington is a good 18th round click as far as like potential 0, but high upside. Is this an Akers team? No. I mean, well, let's see if Akers makes the team. He does look good, Dude, Akers is not this year's Kyren Williams. I'm excited to read tonight all these rosters of finally. I think Khalif Raymond makes sense. Malik Washington got drafted. Yeah, let's go Khalif Raymond. Whatever. We'll add to the Lion stack. Sam Laporta and Gibbs get hurt. Amon-Ra, Jamo, Khalif Raymond are the nuts. Kind of nice to have the whole Bears passing offense minus Laporta and Gibbs. So we actually went 2-7-8-3. Goff and May, a little thin, but we did it. Warren, Corum, Charbonnet, Herbert, Mason, Steele, Shipley, definitely thin. Need Herbert to give me early season production. Need Warren to be in there week 1. Need Corum to be participating early and Charbonnet. And need some points early from these guys too. Amon-Ra, Nico, DJ Moore, Brian, Jamo, Adonai, Kendrick, Khalif. Seems like a perfectly fine wideout room and an elite tight end room. So weird, weird team. Haven't they said Malik is the third already? I I think Malik is the third. It's also my opinion though that Odell was quietly good last year and not going to be impossible. He comes off the pup and mixes in, so it could be annoying. But yeah, I think Malik is a pretty good late round pick. That will conclude our drafters portion of the show. Again, promo code Cheslium if you want to chase the overlay on drafters. Let's get a marathon in here. I don't know why it always does that. I think Samaje Perine could end up a Chief for sure. And then they cut CEH. But we'll see. Obviously, he has ties to the Bengals. The marathon is Underdog's version of total points. 18 rounds, though. Devon Valley is this year's Puka. See, Jack, I think that's just a fundamental misunderstanding of what Puka was. Puka was the number, or Puka was on the Rams. So, you can't be a Puka on the Broncos probably, unless Bo Nix is going to be CJ Stroud's level of good. You just can't. You can't be this elite wide receiver on an ass offense. So I would accept Malik Washington as this year's Puka because he's on the Dolphins. Duvon Valley might have some fantasy points, If you missed it, I did a 2K stream with Tolan last night. Deneric Prince got, he wanted to do Prince. I want to do Perine. We did Perine. Prince got cut, so pretty good there. But we did draft the Packers kicker, and he got cut too. All right, first name I read in the chat, CMC or CeeDee Lamb. I'll take that player. Someone say CMC or CeeDee Lamb. CD was first. Star Kindler's in the 3-hole, and he wanted me to take CMC to possibly get Lamb. Tough Star. Don't rig my giveaways. Big Boy was CD. David was CD. Paul and Star were CMC. No, Brendan Rice would be a comp to Puka, except for the fact that Ladd McConkey was a first-round pick and is a rookie. And Brendan Rice is probably not making the team. Like, I know Davis wants Brendan Rice to be a thing. I'm kind of like more in the camp of boring DJ Chark, which I'm worried about with him injured. Have we gotten clarity on the DJ Chark injury? I saw nothing recently. Yeah, there's like no news on this. I hate when you have to like read athletic articles and then you have to get in the nitty gritty of like the extra where it's like, this player was back at practice, I don't know. We can't look at that right now. Didn't mention KJ Osborne. KJ Osborne's probably not a 0. I agree he's a competent player. He, could he hold off Kendrick Bourne? Maybe. He's going to be on the field to start the season for sure. So I've mixed KJ Osborne in too. I think the best breakout bets for them are Polk number 1, ignoring tight ends. Polk 1, Baker 2, and then Kendrick Bourne is kind of like a Mike Williams bet, where they both tore their ACL. We're just less enthused about the Patriots. Yeah, Rat, we mentioned this on stream and no one really said anything. I got you right now, brother. Try this link. The link below should be good forever. When I do these links, they expire in 7 days, and the reason why I do that is so that porn bots can't join the Discord later. But try clicking this link. Should get you in there. And anyone else who wants to get in the Discord. Taekwon's going to be out there some, but he's a field stretcher, you know? What do you think about Wan'Dale Robinson? I think Wan'Dale is, you know, like, I mix him in. We're not too enthused about the Giants. I think he's a pretty good player and will have some spikes this year. I find myself taking some other just like newer names over him. But he's a fine guy. And I don't know. There's a little bit worrisome that they could go 2 tight end sets and take him off the field some. I don't know where you're seeing this. This seems like misinformation. Herbert is out of a boot. Wow, Jack. Fun fact, my drug dealer in college was good friends with Wan'Dale Robinson. Good to know, Jack. Good to know that we have a lot of cultured people in this chat. We got you, Minor. Have you taken any Trey Sermon? I've taken Trey Sermon and Evan Hull. Playing them both. I've not taken any Goodson, but he looked kind of good too. That's an interesting one too. The Colts backup. Slayton is a good football player, but it's possible that they just prefer to see Jalen Hyatt. I don't know if I said this directly. I didn't say Evan Hull was the key to a milli. I've drafted a lot of Evan Hull, and I have hopes for him. This is absurd. Pacheco's ADP is just here now. All right, have fun with that. We're going Olave. Let's go Olave and DJ Moore. Olave at ADP, and we'll pull up DJ Moore for a uniqueness aspect where he usually doesn't go here. Parker Washington. Parker Washington's a fine bet. Yeah, he's just Parker Washington's the same bet as Jordan Whittington, where they might require an injury, but they are the presumed 4, if not. Thoughts on Jamal Williams? Not my preferred guy. I like him as a person. I think he's pretty funny. But, like, I just think Taysom Hill is going to be the RB2. So, what do you even win when you win? Cade was Tyreek's speed coach in junior high. I don't know if I believe that one, Cade. I find Jack's drug dealing story far more believable. Are my 24% Franklin shares dead? You know, if you go back to my early streams, I said a couple times, Troy Franklin's ADP opened up in the 150s, and I thought it was the worst ADP on the app. I know the ship chasers and everyone in that cohort wanted Franklin to be a thing. He was a 4th-round rookie, you know? I would say, though, that them trading or cutting Tim Patrick is a good sign for your Troy Franklin shares. It's still possible he sucks. Denver beat reporters seem down on him. But if Bo Nix if the Broncos can win some games they're incentivized to look at the future. So if they don't think that anyone else is worth trotting out there, they might trot him out, you know, and he has a connection to Bo Nix. So I don't have a big Franklin bag. I don't want a big Franklin bag, but I wouldn't say it's dead. If Mahomes throws 50 touchdowns again, do you need him in drafters? I would say no. You might, but, you know, Mahomes is not the only player playing football. If Anthony Richardson runs for 1,500 yards and 20 touchdowns, you need him instead. No, Donald Parham being cut is not a good sign for Will Dissly. Will Dissly is a blocking tight end. Hayden Hurst is the receiving tight end, in my opinion. Mims or Luke McCaffrey, I think they're similar bets. Mims is a deep threat, but Bo Nix isn't good at throwing the deep ball. McCaffrey is a bet that he can just develop, and a bet on Jaden Daniels. So I prefer McCaffrey. I mean, honestly, the way people talk, I feel half of them feel that. Mechie didn't get cut, so hard for the Commanders to sign him. Jameis is maybe going to get cut from the Browns, so no. Jameis getting cut would maybe be good news for the Vikings. Thoughts on taking Hubbard and Brooks? I think it's totally fine. I would not be chasing Hubbard up, though, like other people are going to be doing. You know, like I would take Chubbard in the 150s, 140s, but I just like in drafters, I think we just saw Chubbard go in like the 110s, the 120s, and other people are going to be more enthusiastic about that than I am. Are you high on Taysom when he's a tight end then? Yes. Always. Forever. I was the one who originally unveiled that the year that occurred on it's my first like year doing content, and Davis invited me on his pod, and I told him about Taysom, and then he told the world. He gave me no credit. But that's just, I love Davis. That's just what it is. I think these three is a fun trio of running backs. They're all young. Cook and White definitely catch passes. Walker is an explosive runner compared to them. I think just going White Walker is a fun combo because it's like White Walker, But let's do Cook and let's do White too. This room's pulling up running backs. I would have preferred Josh Jacobs, but whatever. We didn't get any of the big four elite tight ends. So fun start here. Vidal made the cut. Yep. Spiller got cut earlier. Seeing social consensus on the timeline that Kyren is just going to get hurt and Corbin's league winner. Why are we all assuming that? I'm not assuming that. I draft Kyren. I think Kyren could be a league winner again, and that Corum could be like Tank Bigsby. But I think a couple of things are happening there. One, Kyren versus Achane is just like a more boring pick to other people. Two, a lot of people didn't draft Kyren last year, and I think there's a little bit of like bias going on there where they refuse to accept that they were wrong not to be drafting Kyren and instead would rather just believe that like last year was a mirage. And, Corum got drafted high. Kyren does have some injury history. So they but the thing is, like, most people are just doing that and not drafting either Rams running back, which the Rams do have some systematic risk. But yeah, I draft Kyren plenty. How do you view Evan Ingram? Ingram's a decent bet. He's not my preferred tight end. He's fine. If something happens to Christian Kirk, it's wheels up for him. What's your take on the Texans wideout room? I like Tank and Nico the best. It's the other people must be drafting so bad, minor, and that's why you can't. Why is Zamir White's ADP above Brian Robinson? Because people are more afraid of Austin Eckler getting touches than they are Alexander Madison and Dylan Lobby, which seems fair. Good job, Haminator. Give you Lobby last round. He might be behind. I know we just said this guy's name. God, I cannot remember this dude's name, but he might be behind him. He's a rookie, so whatever, but like a 7th round rookie out of UNH. I grew up in New Hampshire, so I like Lobby because of that, but you know what I mean there. Thoughts on Ray McLeod as the wideout 3? He's a fine guy to mix in. You know, Christian Kirk all the way back here. That's absurd. That is absurd that we got him here. It makes me going RB at 4-5 feel really good. I'm still Christian Kirk has been on every single winning best ball team of mine. Fun fact. And the Lobby just gave me him. Insane by them. And then, a little bit of a Sophie's choice here, choosing between Reed Watson and Brian Thomas, but we'll bet on the year 2 breakout with Reed. Abdullah, thank you. Yeah, I mean, like, look, the way I view the Falcons is London and Pitts, the clear top target earners there. Let's call them Jefferson and Hawkinson from the year before. Let's call Darnell Mooney, Jordan Addison. Not as good, but that's the role. Okay, and there was really only room for those 3 in the passing game. KJ Osborne, Brandon Powell, like these were not guys you wanted. So I think taking Ray McLeod, who was rested in the preseason, or Casey Washington is fine, but you probably need an injury and or Darnell Mooney to suck, which is possible. Like Darnell Mooney was bad last year. He was good a couple years ago. Have you been warming up to Calvin Ridley? I mean, I take Calvin Ridley when he falls past ADP, but no. I mean, I like the Titans offense, and I think I've written about this. I think it's pretty easy to tell yourself the story that Ridley and Hopkins are kind of like the years where, remember when Jacoby Brissett was the quarterback of Amari Cooper? That's your hope. Like the market has these guys cheap. Either of them could go for 1,200 yards, 10 touchdowns. So yeah, Ridley's a guy I mix in, but he's not like I prefer other guys. You going to Max the Marathon? I want to. I don't know if I will, but I'm going to try. It's going to require me doing, like when I don't stream, sometimes I'll do 5 to 10 drafts at the same time. I'm really excited though for my total points teams on drafters in the marathon because, the sweat you have during the season for Best Ball Mania is advance rate, which is nice. And most likely, I'm not going to have a sweat to be winning the total points contest, but I might. And that's fun. That's fun for the first couple of weeks to like check in and see where you are. Eric got his ticket. These giveaways are free. I don't know about new contests, Miguel. They have overlay there, so they probably want those to fill up. No, I'm not buying into the Anthony Richardson looks bad. I'm kind of confused why Star Kindler took Jordan Love. He must have autoed him. Doesn't really make any sense for his team. Star, care to comment? Dak for sure. And let's go Tony Pollard too. A guy I want some more exposure to. Plays in the same division as the Jags. He wanted Dobbs. Yeah, okay, but like his ADP is here still. I mean, I posted this on Twitter. These are the over-unders on the Packers wide receivers, courtesy of Drafters Pick'ems. I can't see the underdog ones because I'm in Florida, but I can see Drafters. Jaden Reed, 760.5, 4.5 touchdowns. Just receiving yards, right? Jaden Reed will have some rushing. Christian Watson, 750.5, 5.5 touchdowns. Romeo Doubs, only 575.5. Plus, he's like easily, I think, the least talented of these three. And then Dontavian Wicks is 550.5. So I don't know. I'm not big into Dobbs. I think Dobbs is a direct byproduct of how good Jordan Love is, which if he's on the field, doesn't really matter. He'll score, you know? Trusting your gut. That's fair. I mean, look, Dobbs did produce in the real life playoffs. You know? Like if we pull up the playoffs, he produced in those games, which is like the games that matter the most, you know? Which, you know, like if I could Google it, let's just look at this game. The 49ers game. Dobbs, I mean, 4 catches on 6 targets, 83 yards, not sustainable. Jaden Reed only 4 catches, 4 yards. This was a weird game, though, where they were like leaning most of the way. Christian Watson coming back from injury. Dobbs had a good game the week before. I don't know. The ads on ESPN overwhelms my computer when I do that. Ben saying underdog lines are Watson 750.5 and 5.5, Reed 775 and 4.5, Dobbs 600.5 and 4.5. And I'm assuming underdog doesn't lay a line on Wicks because everyone would bet the over because that's kind of like the most groupthink player there. Nate, gun to my head, Moss or Brown straight up is really tough here. I'm going to fight what Broncos beats are saying. I'm going to say, oh, man. It's tough, Nate. It's very, very tough. If you want the biggest upside swing you can have, you take Chase Brown. If you want a guy who is probably a pretty good fantasy pick, you take Zach Moss. So I don't know, Nate. It's like really, really tough. Oh, Odds Hoops. Seems like you're not hip to the Christian Watson storyline. Christian Watson, it's rumored, or not even rumored, it was said that he had a muscle imbalance in his hamstring of like 28% or something. And they've gotten that number down to like 10%. So whatever, dude. Christian Watson's back. There's a guy. I got killed, Damien. I got killed. I mix Wicks in because he has elite single week upside. You know, like, okay, he may only run 10 routes in the game, but if he catches an 80-yard bomb in there, you like that in best ball. Like and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen, if you like this content. I'm on the road to 6K. Again, we're trying to get Jeff Bezos to buy this podcast. Jeff Bezos. Amazon. Prince got cut. Yep. Drafting Trey Tucker at all? I've been hip to Trey Tucker since May. Yeah, I mix him in. He's a spike week guy. Yeah, if not Bowers, punt tight end. That's pretty common. I might go Goddard here though. I think T-Law makes for a great second quarterback to be done. And I mean, Goddard's banged up, but not significantly, it seems like. So I like Goddard as like the last of the swings at elite tight end production. I think these wide receivers are also the last of their tier, but whatever. We're going to take Goddard. If we can get like the Goddard 6 touchdown season instead, maybe some contingent upside there, plays in the same division as Dallas, we could be cooking with some gas. So the team so far, Lamb, Olave, DJ Moore, James Cook, Rashad White, Christian Kirk, Jaden Reed, Dak, Pollard, Trevor, Goddard. I like it. 2 quarterbacks who can give you elite weeks, 3 running backs who can give you big weeks, 5 wide receivers who are all probably their team's wideout one, a great ADP value on Kirk, and then the last of a tier of tight ends. What makes you think the Bills are better than years past? I mean, I don't 100% know that, but my vibe around it is that we're in a new era. The meta's kind of changing in the NFL in multiple ways. Number one, I think the year or like the era of most teams having a target dominant wideout could be changing. Like teams like Dallas still do. Jamar Chase is still Tyreek. But you saw what the Packers did. And I think the Bills are going to be their version of that, where it's kind of like Josh Allen is playing point guard, getting Shakir involved, getting Kincaid involved. Everyone is going to be willing to block for each other. And Stephon Diggs' best days are behind him, So, and I think Joe Brady, like adds some excitement, like a lot of people wanted to hate on him. I don't know if that's warranted. I think they've got a good O-line and some backup pieces there. So, and then just a lot of like players are maturing at the right time, right? Like year 2, Dalton Kincaid. Year 3 or 4, Khalil Shakir, right? Curtis Samuel at 28 years old, physical prime. James Cook, year 3, right? Like a lot of people are kind of coming into their own there. Frank Gore Jr. released. Yeah, the thing about Frank Gore Jr. is he can't pass protect. So Bo Melton, a defensible pick. Yeah, I prefer Pollard over Spears. Like, people want to cast Pollard as a boring player, and I don't have enough Pollard in some places, but I do have him in high stakes and whatnot. But Pollard was bad to start the year, but then he was kind of turning back into himself. Adam, you'll see these once the season starts. Ray Davis looks good, man. I don't know what you're talking about. Look at his eyes. I don't like Jauan Jennings as a dart throw. I'd prefer Ricky Pearsall. I prefer Jacob Cowling. Is it Jover for Chigakonkwo? I've always thought Chigakonkwo sucks. I don't think it's Jover for him. He's going to be on the field. He's not a full snap rate guy. Plausible Josh Wiley does him, but no, he's still fine to mix in on Levis stacks. Gibbs will be the number 1 overall pick next year. I could see it for Achane. I think the Pollard pick was pretty good by us here, as you see a lot of running backs go. Brooks still went pretty high here. Some people just don't know the news. So we're done at quarterback for sure. Yeah, why not? Let's probably get a Ty Chandler share here. He has some standalone value. And then I think Mooney and Thielen are both fine clicks. I don't love them, but they're fine. And let's go Mooney. He was brutal the past 2 years, but we're hoping that he can be something with Kirk Cousins. And maybe he can, and maybe he can't. I'm still of the opinion that the Broncos will be bad. Like, maybe Bo Nix will be exciting for fantasy and the running backs will be okay. But I think more likely in the long run, like, waiting in the ambiguity of a bad team is not good. Oh, we got another comp here. Liam kind of looks like my guy, John Fitzpatrick. Let's pull it up. This dude? I see it a little bit. This dude looks like a android. Like, these eyes don't look real. Falcons tight end. We're built very similar. I'm also 6'5", 250. Not true. Two QBs with same buy advanced rate expectation, given average is 16.6. Charlie, you can't give like a universal answer there. Like Josh Allen plus same bye week quarterback in round 18 is going to out advance Jared Goff plus Justin Herbert in round 12, and they're done. So negative, but not, you make up for uniqueness anything you give up in advance rate. We're not doing the Alec Pierce, Dameon Pierce thing again. So funny that this loser on Twitter, when I posted back in May, I was like, I think CH could be beat out by a lot of guys. I said, Tony McKinnon, the rugby dude, whatever. And this dude comments back now. He's like, how he feeling? And I was like Carson Steele just beat out CEH, like that's what I was saying, Do you like Achane as much for redraft as best ball or like him way less? I don't like any player way less or way more in managed other than guys like Brandon Cooks and Gabe Davis, big game wideouts. No, I like Achane in both. Ownership aside, do you like Akers over Dameon Pierce? I mean, Akers is just like, you're getting a low drafted player, but like fundamentally, that's not the dumpster diving I'm trying to do. Guy with multiple injuries. He did look good in the preseason, but appreciate you, Ben, saying the way I explain things. How high are you, Ray Davis? Pretty high. Do you think he has much standalone value? Possible, yes. I also think it's possible that Ty Johnson is annoying. Dude, I had so much Dameon Pierce last year. I was like, look, he was good his rookie year. No. Let's grab Tolbert for sure. Egregious ADP on Jahan Dotson. And I think Vidal and Mason are pretty equal picks here. We're gonna go with Mason instead because we took CeeDee Lamb, inherently meaning we did not take Christian McCaffrey. So by taking Mason, we are saying not only will CMC fail, we're directly going to benefit because we're taking the presumed 49ers RB2. Yeah, the rookies having pictures. I agree, Star. It's weird. Even a guy like Jaden Reed, I don't think had a picture. So far we have a 2-5-7-1. I think we'll probably get 2 more tight ends here. And 1 more running back called a day. Gives us 2 good QBs every week. Gives us 3 tight ends to hope for a touchdown each week. We definitely have 5 good wideouts. And then we have some darts. Some of them stacked. We definitely have 3 good running backs, I think. And we got some darts. So. Has Elijah Mitchell lost the job? You know, Sauce, it's not confirmed. I personally am choosing Mason over Mitchell. I think he's looked good. And I think the 49ers are a team that rewards availability. And that's not been Elijah Mitchell's calling card. Elijah Mitchell has played ahead of Mason, though, in the past seasons. So, and also, like, Isaac Guerendo is on the team and was drafted. So, it's complicated. I'm choosing Mason. It could be wrong, though. Right? Like, I'm not drafting a ton of these other dudes, Mitchell or Guerendo, anymore. I have drafted them previously in the year. And we'll just have to see. I mean, the most likely outcome if Christian McCaffrey got hurt is 2 or 3 of these guys would share the workload. What do you think of Dyami Brown? I think Dyami Brown could give you some spike weeks a la DJ Chark, but he is overwhelmingly unlikely to break out. Liam looks like the bully villain skier in the teen movie who looks down on the snowboarding misfits with a close bond but no generational wealth. You know, Chuck, if you go back to last year and you watch a stream that me, Karain, I think just me and Karain did on the rookie tight ends, that was something that, like, a bit we did where we were talking about different tight ends and, like, I said some of them look like ski movie villains. So funny. I draft Shipley a lot. It's not comfortable because easily it could be Gainwell instead, who obviously they have trust with, but I don't know, man. Like, Justice Hill and Gainwell, these guys are going to play this year, but I'm of the belief like we saw it with them, and it's like, what did you get? You could get a spike week. Yeah, no one worth taking the plunge there. I think Jonnu for sure. And then probably either Colby or Dulcich for me. Let's take Jonnu. I've barely taken Colby Parkinson. Let's take him. Why not? He's better in total points too, where if Tyler Higbee somehow did return, doesn't matter. I don't know. What's Colby Parkinson's RAS? We're doing Dulcich. Well, I think all the wideout cuts in Denver is bullish for Greg. Owen, I appreciate the super chat, but I'm sorry I'm not going to be doing a mini schnauzer next. I do appreciate the super chat, though. Why not Troutman? Brother, let's look up Adam Troutman career stats here. And you tell me what season we were excited about him. You know, like, okay, Adam Troutman will be on the field. Let's see. We're looking at a peak season of 263 yards and 2 touchdowns. Peak. Ceiling. What do you get? What do you, like, are you hoping for the year 5 breakout? Actually does have a decent RAS. I don't know, like the Broncos tight ends could be annoying because not only do you have Greg and Troutman, but you also have Lucas Krull. But I think Greg's the best bet. Carson Steele goes. I don't have rankings imported for the marathon, which maybe I will get up and running. But if I did, I would have taken Steele instead of one of the tight ends. Oh well. Oh, and other people will definitely do a mini schnauzer with you, brother. And join the Discord. People fire off drafts all the time in there. Paris Campbell release. This is not, guys, this is not news. Come on now. Come on now. Mitch with a comfortable 4% exposure blanket on the 49ers duos. Mitch, how's that latex feel? just kidding, brother. Oh, pour one out for big boys, 3% Paris Campbell, guys. Pour some out. Gonna be doing a stream with Ron and Jacob again. We're doing one more managed team. I think we're doing that on Wednesday. Also gonna be doing some more RT sports streams. Possibly tonight. So yeah, I got a lot of drafting to do. I got one more article I want to get out at least before the season starts. I'm going to have week 1 DFS content too, but I don't think I'm going to start focusing on that until August 6th. So after the Thursday night game, because I'm going to need to draft until contests fill. Owen, here's your call. Jackson there. I didn't jump in the 250. RT Sports deposit code, Cheslium. What are your thoughts on the Chase situation? The same exact way I feel the CeeDee Lamb situation. Not news. I also think the Ayuk one is pretty close to that, but obviously it's a little bit different. Dalvin Cook. Any news on Khalil Herbert? Predictions? Predictions is he's the RB2 of the Bears. But maybe it's Roschon Johnson, who I still draft. Like when I miss on Khalil Herbert and I need a dart, I draft Roschon. Why not? You know? We might take him here. Honestly, like these two I know are giving fantasy points this year. Kendre Miller is also a defensible pick. He's a little bit worse in total points. Some of these names shouldn't even be in here. Let's go with Roschon today. Better offense. So our team is Dak and Trevor, James Cook, Rashad White, Tony Pollard gives us a good trio. Ty Chandler, Jordan Mason, Roschon. Rolling the dice there. CeeDee Lamb, Olave, DJ Moore, Kirk Reed gives us a good quintuplet. Darnell Mooney and Tolbert. Roll the dice. And Goddard, Jonnu, and Greg, cromulent tight end trio there. Pretty fun team. Nice bye weeks on our running back room. A little bit of bye week issues in our wideout room, 3 7s, 3 12s, but at minimum, I have 4 wide receivers playing each week. Good buys on our tight ends. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, good luck to my bags and your bags while we try to survive the last hour of cutdown day. I will have fresh rankings out tomorrow at beatbestball.com. And I'm also going to try to get an article out tomorrow or the next day about, I'm just going to have the depth charts of all the teams with like a sentence write up about all the players, because I try to capture things in my rankings, but you know, it's hard to explain what I'm trying to capture. So I want to just write it up and let you decide. For an example, right? Like when I rank a Jordan Whittington, I'm ranking a player who I think is an upside bet who could be a 0. And you, as a drafter, may not want to be drafting potential 0s. I do, but you might not want to. When I rank a Mac Hollins, I'm ranking a guy who is overwhelmingly likely to score some fantasy points this year, but is very unlikely to be a breakout. And that may be what you want or what you don't want, you know? So going to have that out with each team's just depth chart and write out sometime this week. Going to have rankings out tomorrow. Like and subscribe. Probably be back with a stream. I mean, definitely be back with a stream tomorrow, and might have another one tonight. Join the Discord below. Appreciate you. Have a great day.